This is question 1 of the October midterm for the third year high level class. So first question is probability. Just talking about heads and tails, flipping a coin 3 times. And they give you the first 2, so it shouldn't be too difficult to realise what to do for the remainders. So we have head, 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 tail. Now what you could do, probably how I would do is I'd say, right, okay, I've done for 3 heads, now let's do for 2 heads. So 2 heads and a tail, head, tail, head, and tail, head, head. So that's the 1 tail and 2 heads. And then I might as well just do also all the tails, and then in the final 3 sections here I might as well just do the just 2 tails. So tail, tail, head, tail, head, tail, head, tail, tail. Now you can do those 8 in any order as you wish. So moving on, it's wanting us to look at the data we've actually worked out and get some answers to some very simple probability questions. What's the probability of getting 2 heads and 1 tail? Well, they're not just talking about that one instance that you see here, they're also talking about the other 2 as well. So it's 3 out of 8 in total. So the answer's 3 out of 8. And you just leave it as a fraction. You shouldn't put it as a percentage or a decimal. Just leave your answer in reduced down, simplified fraction. Moving on, we've got one of these sort of thinking questions where you're expected to actually really read the question carefully, think about it, try and work out what they're talking about. And it's getting you to think more deeply than just the basic mathematical sums. So Jamie says you have the same probability of getting 3 heads, okay, 3 heads, as you do for getting 2 heads and a tail. And when it says 2 heads and a tail, it's meaning in any order. That's the whole point of the previous question. You expect to realise that it was in any order, and so we're saying, is the probability of getting 3 heads the same as getting 2 heads and a tail? And clearly it's not. So Jamie's not correct. That's the first thing that you'd say. And the reason being is the probability of the 3 heads is 1/8, but the probability of 2 heads and 1 tail in any order would be 3/8, and clearly they're not the same. Okay. And the last part of this is asking a similar question. You can see the similarities that are there. Max says you have the same probability of getting a head, head, tail as you do as getting a head, tail, head. So it's being quite specific. The order there, head, tail, head, is a specific order. And the answer to this question is yes, the probability is the same, because probability of head, head, tailed is 1/8, and the probability of head, tail, head. Well, if you remember from the diagram at the top of the page, there's only one instance of head, tail, head in that order. It's 1 out of 8, so probabilities are equal.